Friendly Iranians shouting death to America, folks. I mean, where have we gone in this world? Jesus. Woo! Welcome back to the show. Be sure to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic, the House has officially blocked the Democrats' pathetic attempt at impeaching Trump again. They voted 344 to 79, and a ton of Democrats joined in on the no vote for the impeachment. But yeah, once again, this is just more political theater by the Democrats. They've just been taking so many L's since like the election, pretty much the last 8 months, that like they have to do anything they can to show some sort of positive thing for the party. Like, okay, well, we're gonna go try to impeach Trump. We're putting in all the articles of impeachment to get Trump out of there, knowing full well it's not gonna go through, and then eventually it's just gonna turn into an L, another L for the Democrats. But it's basically the only thing they can do at the moment to kind of like, pretend like they're getting wins. They go out and say, yeah, we just filed articles of impeachment against Trump, and like, oh yeah, we're getting him out of there. The Democrats, we're finally getting him out of there. This is going to be the one. And then, of course, it just gets to the House and just gets completely shot down. The Al Green guy was the guy who initiated the whole impeachment process because, he got, he got embarrassed during something like I think it was like the State of the Union or something, that Trump, or whatever it was, the address to the, something, right? And he got pulled out, looked like a total moron, so he had to try to save face by doing, by doing this. But it just was a complete epic failure, of course, and they knew it would be a total L, and they had to take the L. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. So the FBI is investigating the vice mayor of a city in California called Cudahy, Cynthia Gonzalez, for trying to get gang members to fight ICE agents. Go ahead, roll the clip.
So a vice mayor in California accused of calling on gangs to defend their territory against ICE agents. Sources tell Fox Cynthia Gonzalez Cudahy in Los Angeles County is under federal investigation for allegedly posting this video last week. Watch.
You guys tag everything up claiming hood, and now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you. It's everyone else who's not about the gang life that's out there protesting and speaking up. We're out there like fighting our turf, protecting our people, and like, where you at?
We reached out to Gonzalez to see to verify this video, and we have not heard back, but we'll let you know.
Yeah, see, this just shows you how dumb these types of people are. I mean, anytime you hear a woman who speaks like that, like, hey, where are the gang members, dude? Like, that's just a total ghetto chola or cholita, just the type. I don't know how they get into positions where they're like vice mayors, but here you go. But yeah, you think the gang members really want to get involved in the ICE raids? Do you really think they care? All they care about is making sure that their, turf is protected for them. Nobody's coming on and disrespecting them in their turf. They don't care if illegals are getting pulled off the streets. They just want to make sure their gang is thriving and doing well and nobody's disrespecting their turf. But you got this stupid woman. At least she's getting investigated. I hope it goes the full like the whole deal, and she pretty much gets arrested and just removed from her position as vice mayor. These vice mayors, why do small cities I've never even heard of this Cudahy, California. It's just like, and probably that's why you get mayors or vice mayors like this, small city, nobody really cares to vote, and they just vote in whoever, can sway enough people, basically, she got 100 people to vote for her, and that's it, But all right, at least she's getting investigated, and hopefully she just gets completely, charged with the fullest extent of the law to whatever they can get her with. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. So Karmelo Anthony will be charged with first-degree murder for the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Good afternoon. Earlier this spring, our community was shaken by what happened at a school track meet in Frisco. The violent loss of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. For weeks now, my team has been presenting evidence to the grand jury, and today I summarized that evidence, and I asked the grand jury to return a first-degree murder indictment against Karmelo Anthony, which they did. With this indictment, the case now moves formally into the court system. From this point forward, we'll continue doing our job both fully and fairly to pursue justice under the law. As for the scheduling of the trial, that will be up to the court. But when the time comes, we will be ready. Now, we know that this case has struck a deep nerve here in Collin County and beyond. And that's understandable. When something like this happens at a school event, it shakes people to the core. But let's remember that the justice system works best when it moves with steadiness and principle. That's what we're committed to, and that's what this case deserves. We're also mindful of Austin's family and everyone who loved him. Please keep them in your thoughts, and if you're willing, your prayers as well. Finally, let's remember that a defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law.
Yeah, so from the beginning of this whole thing, when the story came out, I mean, it seemed pretty cut and dry that it was most likely just a kid. The Karmelo kid didn't like being told that he shouldn't be, sitting in this area. He wasn't supposed to be in the area, so he pretty much just lashed out by, stabbing the kid right in the heart and, cold-blooded murder, allegedly. But yeah, so then they tried, the whole black community tried to turn it into it was a self-defense situation where it got out of hand and, the Austin Metcalf kid started attacking Karmelo and he had to self-defend himself with a knife. But then it turned into, it wasn't even a knife, it was his track cleat, spike sharpener. It was just, and then the kid gets all this money for killing this kid because the black people wanted to turn him into some sort of martyr of he's getting ridiculed and unjustly criticized for, this murder when it was really self-defense. But listen, and now apparently they showed the video of the whole thing to some journalists. They won't allow the video to be showed. Why do you think that is, right? And it pretty much said, the journal, there was no self-defense. The kid basically just went apeshit and, stabbed him with no warning. You know what I'm saying? It's good though. The kid is getting charged with first-degree murder as he should, because that's a cold-blooded stabbing like that after being told, hey dude, you're not supposed to sit here. You need to go away for the rest of your life. We can't be having those types of people who are just unhinged and have no control over anything walking around free out there. But yeah, at least they're gonna probably get this one right and justice will be served. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. So CNN's Erin Burnett basically claims that the Iranians, despite them shooting or shouting death to America, they still have an aura of friendliness to them. Go ahead, roll the clip.
But the question is whether or not the calm can remain when the regime that is still there, who wants death to America, death to Israel, stays in place. And that is part of the discussion, right?
Yes, absolutely part of the discussion. And, I remember, Dan, at one point being in Tehran years ago, and they're chanting death to America all around me, even as I say, oh, I'm an American reporting for CNN, and they were happy to speak to me. So that those two is sort of jarring realities of the chant, and yet the friendliness have existed together.
Yeah, so usually when people show you who they are and start chanting death to America, they are usually not very friendly and they basically want all Americans dead. But, in this case, they decided to still give her the interview and do it because they wanted to basically be on TV. So now they're just great friendly people because they wanted her dead and they were shouting death to America right to her face. But they wanted to get their 15 minutes of fame and be on the CNN news story, right? So, they're great people. They're great people. Although, yes, they wanted to kill me. They were just so nice when it was all said and done. But after our story and our little news segment, they continued to probably shout death to America. That's just how stupid these people are. And CNN, it's why do you always have to fake people with every news story, right? They don't care about getting anything right or, getting you the real story, or if there's some sort of of, shooting or whatever, where, mass shooting, but then the guy happens to be black or he happens to be an immigrant, that story's just going to go away, It's like, when will they decide to just start giving people the news the way it should be given to them, So maybe they could save face and save the network, Everybody knows it's complete fake news. Trump calls it out all the time, and it's just stories like this where they even tell you, oh yeah, the Iranians were shouting right to us, death to America, but they still are pretty great people. They're still pretty great, It's just so crazy. Friendly Iranians shouting death to America, folks. I mean, where have we gone in this world? Jesus. Woo! CNN, it's just, their time is ticking and they won't be around very much longer. Mark my words. But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you.